Hello everyone, my name is Maria Dalacura and I'm working as a project manager at the Institute of Entrepreneurship Development, which is located in Greece. Within the framework of the Erasmus Plus project person, in which our institute is taking part as a partner along with other organizations from the country of Turkey, Spain, Italy and Netherlands. We have designed for the need for the each person and the advanced technology users some lectures based on their needs. More specifically, through this lecture, we are going to examine how someone can create a business model. Either it can be a canvas or a business plan. To start with, the present day, the most used startup concept is the one of the business model, which describes the rationale of how an organization can create, deliver, and capture value. Each organization needs to provide value to their customers. The business model works for converting the value proposition into potential growth and profitability. All the new businesses have to deal with the challenge of designing a sustainable business model. This is especially true for the businesses that provide innovative products because they often disrupt part of the industry value chain, which means that the stakeholders' relationship and revenue models must be crafted from scratch without the benefit of existing industry practices. While such a challenge might sound daunting, it also represents an opportunity to redefine an industry and reap the benefits of mastering a new way of doing business. According to Peter Drucker, a good business model should answer at some questions, more specifically at the question who is the customer and what does the customer value, and what is the underlying economic logic that explain how we can deliver value to customers at an appropriate cost. And as Steve Blank mentions, startups don't fail because they lack of a product. They fail because they lack customers and profitable business models. The first business model that we should examine is the business model canvas, which is a lean startup template for developing new or documenting existing business models. It is a visual chart with elements describing a firm's or product's value proposition, the infrastructure, the customers, and the finances. This model can be easily used by existing or new businesses. The business model canvas is essentially an organized way to lay out the assumptions about not only the key partners, the resources and the activities of an organization's value chain, but also about the value proposition, the customer relationships, the channels, the customer segments, the cost structures, and the revenue streams. It lets the organization to look at all 9 building blocks at one page. Each component of the business model contains a series of hypotheses that the organization needs to examine. In this template, you can see how the business model canvas look like. It is composed from 9 building blocks. Each of them needs to be described with the answers that your organization your organization will provide. Adding catching visuals and themes to this framework will help you get people's interest and support understanding of the specific business model. But how should someone fill the business model canvas? Let's start examining each block separately. The first block is that you need to fill is a value proposition. The value proposition is a reason why customers turn to one company over another. It solves a customer problem or satisfies a customer need. Each value proposition consists of a selected bundle of products and services that caters to the requirements of a specific customer segment. At this sense, the value proposition is an aggregation or a bundle of benefits that a company offers to customers. Some value propositions may be innovative and represent a new or disruptive offer. Others may be similar to existing market offers, but with added features and attributes. In order to fill this block, you will need to answer some questions for your business. More specifically, you will need to answer which is a value, what a value do you deliver to the customer, which one of your customers' problems are those that you are trying to solve, which customers' needs are you going to satisfy, what bundles of products and services are you offering to each customer segment. The next block is the customer segments. The customers comprise the heart of any business model. Without the customers, no company can survive for long. In order to better satisfy your customers, a company may group them into distinct segments with common needs, common behaviors, or other attributes. A business model may define one or several large or small customer segments. Once this decision is made, a business model can be carefully designed around a strong understanding of specific customer needs. Some questions that you will need to answer at this block in order to fill it will be for whom are you creating the value, and who are the most important customers for your company. The third block that you should fill is the customer relationships. A company should clarify the type of relationship that she wants to establish with each customer segment. Relationships can range from personal to automated. The questions that you need to answer at this block range among the type of relationship that each of your customer segment expect from you to establish and maintain with them, and those that you have already established, how costly are they, and how are you going to integrate the rest of your business model according to your customer relations. The fourth block that you should answer is regarding the channels that you are going to use for your organization. More specifically, the communication, the distribution, and the sales channels comprise the company's interface with her customers. The channels are the customer touch points that play an important role in the customer experience. Some questions that you will need to answer at this block in order to fill it are raising awareness among customers about a company's product and service, helping customers evaluate a company's value proposition, allowing customers to purchase specific products and services, delivering a value proposition to customers. The fifth block that the business model canvas has is the revenue streams. If customers comprise the heart of a business model, then the revenue streams are its arteries. A company must ask itself for what value is each customer segment truly willing to pay. Successfully answering that question allows the firm to generate one or more revenue streams from each customer segment. Each revenue stream may have different pricing mechanisms, such as fixed list prices, bargaining, auctioning, market dependent, or yield management. In order to fill this block, you will need to answer the questions that you can see in the slide, and more specifically, for what value are the customers of your company really willing to pay, for what are they currently paying, and how are they paying them, how would they prefer to pay, and how much does each revenue stream contribute to overall revenues. The sixth block, the business model canvas, is regarding the key partners. Companies force partnership for many reasons, and partnerships are becoming a cornerstone of many business models. Companies create alliances to optimize their business models, reduce risk, or acquire resources. The questions that you should answer at this block is who are your key partners? Who are your suppliers? Which kind of key resources are you acquiring from partners, and which key activities your partners perform? The next block that you should answer is the key activities. Every business model calls for a number of key activities. There are the most important actions a company must take in order to operate successfully. The key resources are required to create and offer a value proposition, reach markets, maintain customer relationship, and earn revenues. The questions that you should answer in order to fill this block are what are the key activities and do your value propositions require? What key activities do your distribution channels require, your customer relationship, and your revenue streams? The eighth block that you should answer in the business model canvas is regarding your key resources. Every business model requires key resources. These resources allow an enterprise to create and offer a value proposition, reach market, maintain a relationship with customer segments, and reach and earn revenues. The key resources can be either physical, financial, intellectual, or human. They can be owned or leased by the company or acquired from the key partners. In order to fill this block, you should answer the questions regarding what key resources do your value propositions require, what key resources do your distribution channels require, what key resources do your customer relationship require, and what key resources do your revenue streams require. The last part of the business model canvas is the cost structure. This block describes the most important costs incurred while operating under a particular business model. Creating and delivering value, maintaining customer relationship, and generating revenue all incur costs. Such costs can be calculated relatively easily after defining key resources, key activities, and key partnerships. The answers that you will need to ask at this block are range among what are the most important costs inherent in your business model, which key resources are the most expensive, and which key activities are most expensive. Now that you have a clear understanding of the contents of the business model canvas and how someone should fill them, let's examine a case study of a field canvas. Let's examine the case study of Skype. As you can see through this example from Skype, the blocks are the 9, and for the key partners, the partners of Skype are the payment providers and the telecoms partners. As for its key activities is the software development. The key resources are through software developers and through software. The value propositions is that they provide you free access and video calling and cheap calls to phones. The customer relationships are the self-service. The channels that they use in order to reach the customers are through Skype.com app and the headset partnership. The customer segments are that they are free users and users who want to call phones. The revenue streams is that they are free, and they have also prepaid calls and hardware sales, and the cost structure is the software development. As you can see, the value proposition, the customer segments, and the revenue streams are internal connected to each other through the free internet and video calling that they provide to the free users, and the revenue streams for that category is free. But for the category of cheap calls to phones and the users who want to have call phones, they can have revenue streams from them through the prepaid calls and the hardware sales. After developing your business idea and forming your business model canvas that was presented above, the next step is the refinement of this idea and the development of the business plan. While the business model canvas is a mechanism through which the company generates its profit, the business plan is a document presenting the company's strategy and expected financial performance for the years to come. A good business plan should answer some questions. For example, how will the business meet the patient's expectations? Can the firm sustain and develop its business? Does the firm management know enough about the business? You have an idea and you find the way that you will found it, but you don't know how to present it to your future investors. Then the solution is simply, you need just a business plan. A business plan is a written description of your business future, a document that describes what you plan to do and how you plan to do it. Every business needs to have a written business plan. Whether it's to provide direction or attract investors, a business plan is vital for the success of your organization. It's a crucial element in any application for funding. Therefore, it should be complete, sincere, factual, well-structured, and reader-friendly, and of course, to be updated. After you have considered the purpose of your business plan and have done the necessary background preparation, it's time to consider the actual elements that you will include in the written document. This should contain 5 types of information. More specifically, it should contain the mission of your business and the objectives that you want to achieve, your targeted markets and clients, the products and services that you will provide, and the position of your competitors. The qualitative and quantitative results you expect to achieve, the human resources, the infrastructure, the equipment, the raw materials, and the financial resources you will need to have in order to achieve your goals, and the technical, organizational, and administrative processes that you will apply. Let's see some useful tips that you should take into account while you are going to create your business plan. First of all, you should keep it short. A business plan should be short and concise. The first aim while writing your business plan is to be readable. No one is going to read a 100-page business plan. Moreover, your business plan will be a tool which will allow you to persuade your potential investors to invest their money. It will be a tool that you will use continuously refine over time. You should know your audience. Write your plan using the language that your audience will understand. Avoid the acronyms or that your target group might not be familiar with them. Apart from that, you should be realistic with the time and the resources available. Being realistic is important because it will provide you credibility to your presentation. Showcase what makes you stand out ahead of the competitors. Before writing your business plan, make a research on your competitors. Get to know what they are doing. Find what you are unique to and present it. And of course, discuss the payout options for the investors. All investors want to know when they will get their money back and at what rate of return. Most want out within 3 to 5 years. Provide a brief description of options for the investors. Let's examine now the content of a business plan. As a first step, you should provide an executive summary. The executive summary is an overview of your business and your plans. It comes first in your plan and is dealt on 1 to 2 pages. Within the overall outline of the business plan, the executive summary will follow the title page. The summary should tell the reader what you want. This is very important. Clearly state what you are asking for in the summary. For example, your business concept, your financial future, your financial requirements, etc. As a second step, you should provide your company description. Identify who you are and when you plan on going into action. State what kinds of products or services you will be offering. Be clear whether you will have a physical store or you will operate online or you're going to do both of them. Your company description can also incorporate your mission statement. As a third step, you should compile your internal business information. In this section, you will need to include inner details for your enterprise. For example, the mission, the vision, the values, the human resources that you are going to use. As a fourth stage, you should mention your external business information. The external business information contains a market analysis. Implement a research on your industry, on your market, and on your competitors. Why you think people will buy what you want to sell and how you plan to sell to them. One of the first steps to launching a successful business is clearly identifying the target market of your startup. Who will be the competitors of your startup? In order to find out all this answer, you need to conduct a market research. At fifth stage, you should compile your SWOT analysis for your business. In this section, you will need to analyze the strong points and the weaknesses of your enterprises, the opportunities, and the threats which you are going to face. As a sixth step, you should compile your management team and your personnel. In this section, you should indicate your credentials and the people you plan to recruit to work with you. A review of the structure of your company and who the key team members are. These details are especially important to investors as they will want to know who is behind the company and if they can convert a good idea into a great business. You can also use the organization plan. As a seventh step, you should write your investment plan and your location. With other words, your sales forecast, your projections of how much you are going to sell over the next few years, a short prediction on how much money you will need for the next 3 to 5 years. You need to have all your numbers in order when you are writing a business plan, especially if you are planning on securing investment funding. Figure out exactly how much money you need to start the business and stay operational. Otherwise, you will run out of money. In order to predict them more accurately, you can present a balance sheet. As step 8, you should write your summary and evaluation. They can be as an appendix. This is an optional section that includes the resumes and the permits. An appendix to your business plan isn't a required chapter by any means, but it is a useful place to stick any charts, tables, definitions, legal notes, or other critical information that either felt too long or too out of place to include them elsewhere in your business plan. If you have a patent or illustrations of your product, this is where you would want to include the details. Now you are able to create your business plan. Thank you.